As most fans of Phantasy Star Online know, the game begins in the hub colony ship of the Pioneer 2. But what you may not know is what happened to the Pioneer 1, or why they even went to Ragol in the first place. Welcome to the Abyss, folks. My name is Void Money, and today we're going to discuss the Pioneer Project. The first thing you need to know is that the Pioneer Project began on the player character's homeworld of Coral. Coral was plunged into a state of warring chaos that makes the planet nearly uninhabitable. The Pioneer Project was a planned colony mission put together by the Alliance of Nations on Coral. The project would eventually send player characters and NPCs from the Pioneer 2 to colonize a suitable planet, with the eventual goal of moving the rest of the population of Coral. The Corallian government launched unmanned probes to promising star systems, officially beginning the Pioneer Project. This initial seeding period of probes delivered back a promising planet, which would become known as Ragol. Ragol features a breathable atmosphere with plenty of water, lush vegetation, and geothermal activity, and it was the top candidate for a new colony for the people escaping Coral. This point in the Pioneer Project marks a divergence point in the story of the PSO universe. That is, it's sort of the splitting point between the stories of Phantasy Star Online and Phantasy Star Zero. Whereas the episode 1 through 4 of PSO take place on Ragol, Phantasy Star Zero takes place on Coral. The Pioneer Project would launch the Pioneer 1 to Ragol to begin with the construction of a colony on the surface of Ragol some 8 years after Ragol is discovered. A year later, it arrives on Ragol, where the colonists build a base of operations called the Central Dome. From here, they begin terraforming the planet to be more suitable for a large population of humans. Meanwhile, back on Coral, the planet and geopolitical situation are both continuing to decline, but they receive a transmission from the colonists on Ragol, and they're ready for more colonists to come in the next ship, the Pioneer 2. Just 7 years after the departure of the Pioneer 1, the Pioneer 2 leaves Coral. However, back on Ragol, the situation has been soured. Due to the never-ending need for scientific and military progress, dangerous research has begun altering the life forms on Ragol. More dangerous and aggressive altered beasts are now becoming a serious problem for the military on Ragol. And so, hunters have begun attempting to fix the problem by regularly sweeping and mopping up the increasing dangerous environment around the Central Dome. The research that's been going on behind the scenes on Ragol attempted to unlock the powers of the ancient civilization which used to live on Ragol. In so doing, they revived a weakened Dark Falls, the titular antagonist of the Phantasy Star game. As Dark Falls continues to grow, it absorbed more and more in its wake until the arrival of Pioneer 2 in Ragol's orbit. The explosion, in reality, is the result of Dark Falls being revived and absorbing all of the colonists from the original colony Pioneer ship. This is where the episode 1 of PSO begins. Fast forward through the events of episode 1 through 4, and the Pioneer 2 establishes itself as a society separate from the Corallian Alliance of Nations, which eventually disbands anyway. The Pioneer 2 declares independence, thus ending the Pioneer Project in failure. Yes, it is a stark turn of events, and the story of PSO doesn't hold much promise for the people of Ragol or Coral, but such is the way of things in this fantastic online dungeon crawler universe. But folks, that's all for today. If you find yourself wanting to know more about the ongoings of the PSO universe, check out the playlist popping up on screen now. Or if you want to play Phantasy Star Online Blueburst, check out the tutorial video popping up as well. Aside from that, please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoy Phantasy Star Online. I'll be continuing to be releasing PSO content on a regular basis. Until then, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!